Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Limitless Health Club. I'm Julie E., and I'm your host. Tonight, I would like to start off by everybody taking their telephone with your Q disc on it and put it on top of your head and take a few breaths and ground yourself. Close your eyes, no talking. It works better if you're not using your voice. All right. Stay until you feel like you yawn or your body just gets super relaxed. You can go a teeny bit longer. Every time you use your phone with your Q disc on it, on top of your head, it turns on all of your meridians, all your chakras, all your energy channels, all your organs and glands. It is a fantastic tool to have because you always have your phone with you. It's great for your teenagers because when they have the Q disc on it, teenagers always have their phone with them. I think it's like permanently attached. So they're always being protected and they can use it for just a couple of breaths and turn themselves on. So I strongly recommend everyone do that. This has never happened before in the last 22 years of using EMF remediation, where it actually makes your phone heal you. And yesterday, a client was like, "But that's ridiculous. It's my phone." I'm like, "Exactly. It's your phone, and your phone is healing you. So go for it. Use it that way." I'll start off taking any questions if you have any. Anybody?
Yeah,
Or
Julie, I do. I was just wondering, I just got over like laryngitis or a cold, just a cold. And what is the go-to thing for that? Is that olive leaf for that?
olive leaf is always a good choice. It is an herbal antibiotic. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and we have it in a liquid form for little babies and kids, and also in the capsule form.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear laryngitis, the first thing I think of is the liver and the lymph. It's kind of like all the L's together, throat
Yeah.
stuff. So, um, salt and water and hydration, always super important. But um, I would also first question, am I burning the candle at both ends? Are my adrenals fatigued? Sometimes adrenal support will help. B vitamins help the adrenals and the liver. So we're thinking lymph is like soaking, tapping, swiping, soaking, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe some lymph drops or HCl is
Mm-hmm.
really good to clean the blood. So that will help anytime. Um,
I
oh,
think I have some HCl. Yeah.
yeah, HCl. This is not
Mm-hmm.
exactly Premier HCl. That's a blood cleaner. And the more you take, the better. And you have to take it with food because it's an acid, but that will clean your blood. So if you're not feeling good, 10 or 20
Yeah.
of those if your stomach can handle it. But I
Okay.
would say laryngitis, so you're not feeling good, or if you're tired, I would definitely, you have to pile other symptoms in to figure out which direction to go. But if you're fatigued and tired, I would go with B vitamins
Mm-hmm.
and glutathione, turmeric, liver ND, any of the liver support nutrients. And I would also go for something lymph, which the HCl is, and soaking. Those would be my first
Okay.
thoughts go to. And olive leaf, each person, when I put you on a program, for those of you that are watching or listening that are on a custom program or have been, the stuff that your body tests well for, that is your go-to Tylenol, Advil, cough medicine. Your body loves it. So if we've used olive leaf for you in the past, absolutely, that's one of your first go-tos.
Mm-hmm. So you're no, so I'm trying to get away from like Tylenol, Advil. I don't use it anymore.
I'm saying like your
Oh,
personal medicine.
okay.
Your like, and
So
the way you would take it is because people are programmed with Tylenol and Advil. They're like
I know it's so
2 or 3 every 4 hours, right? So you
hard.
start with, if you don't feel good, you start with like 3 olive leaf and you see if that makes you feel better. And if not, you add 3 more and you add 3 more.
Hmm.
When people are really sick, somebody is trying to get into this class, and let me see
Okay.
if I can. A couple of people are. Let me just send this to my website person, and hopefully she is helping. So yeah, I don't want anyone. I haven't taken a pharmaceutical in I couldn't, 20 years, really? I couldn't tell you. So
Really? Well, I haven't since I've been with you. So, and that's,
awesome.
yeah. And it's really hard sometimes because like when I have a headache and I'll like, what am I, it's going to grab a Tylenol. And I, but I don't. So I do the CoQ10, the CoQ for a headache.
I was just gonna say that.
Were you? Okay, good.
CoQ would be my CoQ. A couple of clients have asked this week. They're like, that
Mm.
sounds like it's your number one go-to. And it is. Soon as you don't feel good, the first thing I would think is CoQ
Okay.
because it's like charging your cell phone when you give your
Hmm.
body CoQ. So first it charges your body. Let me just
Even with like sinuses too, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're feeling weak, tired, or depleted, that would be one of my
Yeah.
first thoughts is to go to. Then I would go to like if sinuses, I might think alicidin.
Okay.
Sinuses, I think gut first.
Really?
Sinuses and lungs, I would always go to the gut first.
Okay.
Um, and alicidin's an herbal antibacterial, whereas olive leaf is an antiviral and
Mhm.
biotic. And then
Yeah.
we have hisonol, we have mushrooms. Those are all antiviral also. And when someone's sick, you don't know if it's a bacteria, a toxin, or a viral. So we need
Right.
to, unless you know how to test or to really check, or you confirm with me or someone else, you're ruling out. You're like, let me put some nutrition, see if that helps. If that's not helping, let me put in an anti or a kill off thing. If that
Hmm.
doesn't help, then we go to the other types. Then we go to toxicity. Then we go to CoQ and chlorella, or CoQ and
Okay.
HNND. Many times that takes away people's headaches. And then
Okay.
in my body, it has many times been the kidneys. So I had a client that if she got headaches on this side, it was her kidneys. And when she got on this side, it was her liver. So we had
Oh,
two
wow.
different remedies going for her for a couple of months till she got over a couple of hurdles where her
Mhm.
body got a little healthier. And then she just didn't have headaches almost at all.
Okay.
Let me
Mm.
see if I can somehow keep talking and also check out my website at the same time to help
Yeah, that's okay.
everybody.
Jordan really likes you a lot and really enjoyed her session with you.
Oh, good. I'm happy to hear.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
she's sweet. She's sharp, and I think in no time at all she'll be feeling better.
Yeah. She said, I have to, if I think about doing something else, it's going to be it. She wants to get into this medicine.
Oh, okay.
She's a bachelor's degree in business, but she said, I really should have wished I would have went, holistic, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, most holistic programs start with a little bit of science. So if she is interested to take, oh yeah, my website's frozen. Great.
Oh, great.
I mean, it's like there was traffic everywhere today. Everything took twice as long. It's just
Hmm.
air, right? It's just
Hmm.
something's going on. Let me see if I could just send this particular person at least just the link so they can
Yeah.
join. Oh, I cannot do that. Great. Can't do anything. Oh, isn't it just fun when everything works out?
Yeah. I know.
Um, and so you were talking with my assistant about the Elite Health Club and the
Yeah.
Limitless Club. I don't mind answering a question about that right now since I can
So
do
it's
that.
6 months straight. You pay the two something.
Well, yeah. So the reason it's 6 months, it's one visit a month for 6 months. Like that's the commitment for the Elite Health Club. And then you get the Limitless as part of it. And you get like the same discounts and stuff. And Jordan can use it also. So it could be like it's your immediate, it's really always better for one person. And the reason I do that is by the end of one visit a month for 6 months, everyone's body, anyone I've worked with for that continuously, their whole
Hmm.
body's life, everything changes because
Really?
we're peeling away layers like hormones. And like when I see somebody like in a January and they're on a program and I don't see them again until March or April, like we often come back to, well, their liver's off, their kidneys off. We don't get into like how are we fixing and really changing the hormones? We're constantly dealing with the detox organs, which is actually what I wanted to talk about next. So let me explain that and we can come back there if we can. Let me see.
I think I'll talk to Dana tomorrow and do that. So because I think Jordan needs more appointments after this, to see
Yeah,
how she's doing.
she'll benefit, and I am okay with sharing it like within the family. I think that, it's better if it's one person, but it's okay.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can find. Okay, so actually, let me just tell him. So, one quick sec.
That's all right.
They say you're only as good as your support people. I have no support people in this business at this moment and
Oh,
nothing. So that's why no one
mhm.
else is on this call. Because
Yeah,
there should be so many other people. Were you able to log in just now and get the link?
yeah.
Oh, so it's,
I get. I actually did 5 minutes ago. Then I just kept it up until you got in there.
I
So,
can't log in right now either. Or I don't know, is it my
but, I
internet?
always have a problem, so I start 15 minutes early because I never know exactly where to go to get to it. Like I go through the
Wanted to
things.
show that tonight actually, but I
Like
can't log into anything.
okay,
And I
yeah, I
told
got.
my web person yesterday that I was having the same issue, but I did not get any feedback from them.
Mhm.
Um, so yesterday or earlier this week, a client said, I took my mom with me when I did red light therapy. They went in like a red light bed or like a
Mhm.
tanning bed, but with red light, which has many benefits. Our laser has red light and infrared in it, as well as
Okay.
light. Um, this laser, for anyone
Yeah.
that is familiar, I know you have one.
Yeah.
So it has red, infrared, and violet. And what is the difference between this and going to a bed is you're getting this everywhere, all
Right.
within 10 minutes. So it is pretty fantastic. This has red, infrared, and violet. Those beds are usually just red.
Right.
And
Okay.
so she took her mom with her. I've been having her, this person is recovering from like some serious health stuff. So I've been having her, she doesn't have her own laser. I've been having her go get therapy, red light therapy and PEMF. And let's see, he doesn't have the link. Shoot. And so she said, my mom came with me and she got really sick after. She doesn't feel good. Was it too much for her? And so the answer to that question was it's the same from person to person. And it's
Okay.
not that it's too much, it's that, shoot, I thought I was just sending the Zoom link. Hang on one quick second.
Okay.
Okay, so what I was saying is for this woman, it's the same thing for anybody. It is her body went through a healing using that
Mhm.
red light. It energized her cells, it charged her cells up. What the cells do is their job, and they're going to
Right.
dump toxins out. And when they dump them out, your assembly line, aka detox system, needs to deal with it. And if your
Mhm.
detox system is clogged or sluggish, well, you're not going to feel good. So
Okay.
that's what happened to this woman. And that's healing in a nutshell. That is how the body works. Your body releases something
Mhm.
and it's going to go through the liver, gallbladder, kidneys, intestines, and lymph until you clear it out. And if it
Okay.
goes to one of those organs and they are tired or weak or deficient, then you're going to have an overload in that organ or gland. And if it's your liver, you're going to have irritability or anger or depression. If it's the gallbladder, it's fear. the kidneys, you start to have equilibrium issues. And as I said, you know, the one girl had headaches on this side for the liver and this side for the kidney. So anything is possible, or it's going to lead to constipation. So wherever your body is the weakest in terms of your detox system, those are going to be the problems that you have. So the question though was, is it too much for her? It's not too much for her, for this woman to go do red light. She just needs to step up her treatments on her detox system. She needs to tap and swipe more, soak more, take some more nutrition. And as the words I gave her were, she doesn't have any reserve in her tank. She's like driving a cell phone on empty at all times, or a car on empty at all times. So she hasn't replaced enough. It was like her first time getting light therapy. She takes like vitamin C and CoQ10. She's just not there yet. So she really needs to nourish more in order to be able to handle more treatments.
Right. Oh, I wanted to tell you, I think you were like right on when you said to Jordan about her gallbladder.
Oh,
Because on my husband's side, their family history of none of them they don't have gallbladders. They all had them have removed.
oh, interesting.
So, I never thought about that until
Oh,
she
so
said,
okay, good. Um,
yeah,
so this is like a 20 for anyone that's listening now, they know, but it's like
yeah,
a 23-year-old girl, 24. She, and all of her symptoms in her body when I did her first session with her all traced back to the gallbladder not working well, exactly what I just described with the detox system assembly line. So sleep wasn't good, bloating, like she's half asleep but could hear a fly go by or the wind. That's your gallbladder. Bloating, especially below the navel, waking up between 4 and 5 a.m. And the gallbladder is the organ of fear. So there's that also. And the gallbladder in the sequence in your body, it's liver, gallbladder, small intestine. So the gallbladder dumps into the small intestine to go through the intestines till you poop it out. But if the intestines are backed up, it's also going to back up to the gallbladder. So, you know, when there's one issue, the question at first is, you know, where is it? So it kept coming up as gallbladder. But then I said, I don't know yet if it's truly gallbladder or if it's the intestines backing up and the liver pushing through. So everything's just getting stuck at the gallbladder. So I think in the end, though, after we went through more aspects of her body, it truly was the gallbladder. And a little
and
bit, I
that
think,
would cause PCOS,
what's that?
and that would cause like the PCOS.
PCOS it generally has gut stuff related to it and dysglycemia and blood sugar issues. But, you know, any medical condition these days, I take with a total grain of salt. Like they just put people in a box because they want to. So, you know, I can line up 100 people with PCOS or maybe 20 and find 20 different causes. But I do believe it when we find something like that for her, we have to go and trace it back to a scar or a couple of scars. So then I found the bottom jaw was also on the left side was reflexing to the gallbladder. So then the thing is, every time you chew and you eat, it's shutting down your gallbladder. So we just have to take a few extra things into consideration. You know, after she eats, I said, you know, do this before you eat also, because it will turn it on, but I didn't want to overwhelm a 20-year-old. Do this after. So either or, it's going to be better than none. We need to get the organs to be working. I want to see if I could find, I'm sorry, I'm still on this Zoom trying to let somebody in. If I can figure out show meeting, I don't know how to do this stuff at the last minute. Looking for the link, the codes. Oh, copy invite link. There we go. Let me see if I can get it. I did it. Well, I'll be happy that there'll be one more person in there, but this needs to be seamless and, you know, and not working, then I need better help, more help, something. Because there's like 30 or 40 people that said they were coming on this call, so
Oh my
it's,
goodness.
yeah, and there's one so far and one trying to get in, so it's an issue on so many levels. Well,
Oh.
getting a private session at the moment. Do you have any other questions?
Just like, so would you say with weight, as far as your eating right and weight wise, is there, is it your liver?
If you're not able to lose weight, or
Yeah,
you're gaining weight and you're eating well,
yeah.
then it's not something you're doing right now. It might be, yes, it's your detox system more than likely. There's a couple of traffic jams, possibly like scars
Mhm.
that are reflexing to either the detox system or another part of you. Because to lose weight, you know, I didn't have enough information to answer the question so far, the way that I think, which is taking the whole body, mind, and soul into consideration. He's made it. We have our second person.
Oh, good, good.
Hallelujah. Well, he's not in yet.
Yeah, soon.
I'll wait till he's in to repeat the question and answer it.
Mhm.
You there? Barry, you made it?
Uh,
I'm so sorry.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to turn stuff on here. Sorry, login working. Yeah, there was something, when I clicked the login thing, nothing happened at all.
That's what's happening to me, but our other participant had no problem, but she started a little earlier. I was saying that Microsoft Word decided not to open for me today, so I can't get half my documents. So I just go like this when all this stuff happens, and I go, it's in the air. I don't know if there's like universal interference on people trying to be healthier. I'm sure there is.
You could try rebooting, or if you go to something called Task Manager, I can show you, look for Microsoft Word running in the background, and just end it and try it again.
I can't hear you that good. Task something.
All right. I don't use Zoom a lot. I use Teams more than on this computer. I'm sorry.
Well,
You don't hear me very well?
that now I can.
Okay. Either you can try rebooting, which will cancel out any word processes running in the background, or press Control-Alt-Delete, go to Task Manager and line it up, look under M for Microsoft Word, and also look under W for Word. You may find, if you click on Word like 10 times, you may find 10 of them. One of them is the bad one. So
Okay. I powered the computer down last time, a little while ago, and I haven't powered it back up yet. I figured that was the first place to start. But yes, what you just said also would be my second choice, and calling my tech guy will be my third choice. But being that there were car accidents today everywhere I went, and the traffic was crazy, I was like, it's just whatever's going on with the astrology and the energy around is the bigger problem. But it's not okay when I'm trying to teach a class, and I told someone yesterday that I couldn't get logged in on my website, and I don't know that it was fixed or addressed, or clearly two of us couldn't get in, one person can. I just text you the link from Zoom itself.
Okay.
So, and I come here to teach to help like many people, and like 20 or 30 people said they were coming today. And, it's unfortunate. It's fortunate for you guys and for us to be here, but it's unfortunate that there's that much of a glitch that a lot of people might have planned on being here and can't.
Oh, got it. Okay.
That's an issue for me. That's an issue, big issue for me. It's like, anyway, that's more of a big picture business frustration. So the question that I was just asked before you came on was, what is wrong, or where is the breakdown if you're eating well and trying to lose weight? And when someone asks me, what do you do for a headache, or what do you do for a stomach ache, I always ask for 2 or 3 other symptoms, because I could give you 50 different remedies or processes for a headache and a stomach ache. But when you tell me 2 or 3 other things going on, then I can hone in more on the issue. So if you're eating well and you're not losing weight, what about your energy, your emotional body, the energy around you, your exercise, where you're sleeping? You know, are you getting hit by EMFs and electronic the whole time? Where is your head when you're, you know, where are you working as well? So where is your head when you're sleeping, and where are you when you're working? People with electric cars. I mean, there's so many possibilities of the reason. When you're eating, the balance of the protein, fat, fiber versus the carbohydrates ratio at each given time. If you're not eating after you exercise, that will prevent you from losing weight. So it's a bigger question than it may appear. And if there's just weight loss protocols that people are following and they're not paying attention to all of those things, then they're just lucky if the weight actually comes off, because it's a bigger deal. So the adrenals, the thyroid, are you hydrated? All of these things are part of weight loss. So the first question really would be, are you pooping 2, 3, 4 times a day? Because if you're not, got to get you to go to the bathroom and eliminate waste so that you'll already lose 2 or 3 pounds just by going to the bathroom. Then we need to make sure there's motility going in the gut. And then we want to make sure there's no traffic jams reflexing, like an old scar or trauma. Could be a dental thing, could be a trauma to the head that would be reflexing to the thyroid, the adrenals, the intestines. So all of those are, you know, to me, part of the picture. But I do always, the first thing I would say is make sure you hydrate, take a teaspoon of salt, pink salt every day, and make sure you go to the bathroom and start there. And if those are new things, then that's your starting place. Then I would add in, eat within 30 minutes after you exercise. And that would be the time to have something a little bit more carbohydrate. If you were going to have carbs, like an apple, a banana, something crunchy, because that is, after you exercise, you have this 30-minute window of opportunity to pump in carbohydrates, and they will get utilized quickly. They will not get stored. They'll get utilized, and they will get a little bit stored for fuel for your brain, but they're not going to get stored in your fat cells. And by having that little bit of food, it's like putting kindling on a fire. It just like allows the flame to grow big and to stay. And that's the fat burning flame. Whereas if you don't eat after you exercise, your body starts to break down muscle. Its first choice is to break down muscle, not fat. And muscle are also your organs, your glands, your eyeballs, your liver, your kidneys. So, you know, whatever you hear in the news about like macular degeneration and all this stuff, like you also have to take that with a grain of salt. If this person ate terribly their whole life, didn't eat after exercise, like they're wearing down their organs. So it's not just about a certain age thing where the retina detaches. You know, all of these things are all connected together.
Right.
Vision, because a lot of people are asking me about their hair and their nails and their vision lately. And eyesight to me is the gut, it's the liver, and so it's the intestines if they're not flushing out on a regular basis, and it's trauma to the head or the spine. And if we eliminate any of those traffic jams, the eyesight comes back. And one of my own very personal experiences when I very first started to take CBD 6 years ago, I had an associate of mine test me. So I was put on the exact precise dosage that my body needed versus just like, oh, let me take one of these every few hours. So when they told me how much to take and I took that dosage, about an hour later, when I was looking at something, it was like my eyeballs were like a lens on a camera, and it just like suddenly went like zoop, and like a size like 1 font came into the strongest focus I had seen in a while. And I was like, wow, nervous system, brain, calm, and I could see better. So I'm just saying, if you look at all of those pieces, that's part of vision and all these pieces that are part of weight loss. I'm happy to take a part 2 about the weight loss if you have it, or if I didn't answer enough for you. If you're still there.
Yeah, I'm here. It was good. I just found that especially during the winter months, you just kind of slack off sometimes, and I get that seasonal,
Seasonal. Yep.
yeah, what I mean.
It's been rainy and gloomy in California for 2 months. It's so depressing. Like it affects you. You have less excitement to go run and exercise and stuff. So you do, and that's another reason for the light, because you have to just put light. You have to get like bright light. That's when I lived in New York, I used to go to a tanning in the winter, just enough to just feel like my bones got warm every so often, and I didn't look like death. I just needed like, you're both on the East Coast, so you get it. It's Virginia and Pennsylvania. So you're representing the roughest months, the roughest part of the country during these months. So we need like some sunlight. There's a woman I just met, and she said, they moved here from Florida. She's like, I'm taking my kid to the tanning place to go get red light therapy, not just the tanning booth. They have a red light bed there as well, because she's like, he hasn't been like in the sunlight, and he's wearing these bulky things, and it's freezing, and you're not outside enough. You're not on the earth. So whatever way you can fake it or biohack it, so to speak, is what we're looking to do. So you have a laser. So I would just be like every day. And I'm Barry, you're tech, you might be able to figure something out for us. I want some kind of like a tripod type of thing where I could have this when I'm lying down, like right over my face. Because that's what we need, because that's the only reason we don't do it long enough on our face, because
You're not supposed to look at it, right? Your eyes.
you could look right at it. Yeah, absolutely. Don't let them fool you. Yes, those are everything we've been told. Throw it out.
Okay.
This particular laser has a shield on the screen, so it's actually safe. The pen laser I wouldn't look directly at, but when I go to the red light bed or tanning booth, it's like looks like a tanning booth, but it's just red light. It's the same nanometers that are in here. I don't put goggles on. I want, my eyeballs are cells. I want that stuff going through all of me. Absolutely. Red light, the light turns on the mitochondria. It gets the cells, which is the powerhouse of the cell, and the cell it's like a major charge. It's like taking your phone from 1% all the way back up to 100 when you use the light. Like all of your cells are like, oh, thank you, I can do my job again better. So so maybe there's a chain called Restore, and they're mostly on the East Coast. They're just making their way out here. It's not my favorite of favorite places, but because it's a chain, it's a good starting place for you. And they are a biohacking center. All the biohacking things I have here are like travelable. They have stationary. So they have a cryotherapy. They have the compression for the arms and the legs, which flushes the lymph. They have red light therapy. Their red light therapy is off. You have to stand in between 2 panels. So the one here doesn't do your ankles and feet, which disturbs me because that's where most people need help. But it's a look for that and see if you can go. And their memberships are fairly inexpensive, like $130 a month. You get like 5 or 6 treatments, something like that, as a good starting place to see what you like. These are the health centers of the future, these types of places. I'm affiliated with a couple that are here, and that's really, I'm looking to work with one and maybe even put my practice within one of those kind of places in the future, because that you can just walk in and get like 2 treatments in a half hour for like 50 or $100 and walk out and go, oh my gosh, I feel like alive again. I go to a place sometimes where I get 10 minutes of red light, the way I just described, and 6 minutes of cryotherapy. So I'm in and out in under 20 minutes, and I feel on top of the world and energized and recharged. Cryotherapy is more of a long-term solution. it is regenerative medicine that lasts, like it's building your brown fat and it's increasing your metabolism and other things. Cold plunging is pain relief and decrease inflammation, like right here, right now. So
Mhm.
those are two biohacking things you may have heard about that people are starting to really talk about. They have like their own conference now, the cryotherapy and cold plunge conference.
I read about it, so I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so Restore has some of those. So if you look and see where they're located, and then somehow in your, maybe another smaller version pops up. They have a couple of hundred stores. Here we have a place called Pause, Restore. This one is just like a good old fashioned tanning salon, but they have cryotherapy and red light therapy and the compression, and they have an infrared heating pod that vibrates. So I mean, I've used all of these devices at trade shows for like a decade. They're all just becoming really more abundant right now. And they're
Mhm.
probably in your neighborhood. And the truth is, we don't have to work out so hard anymore. In the 70s is when the word aerobics was invented in 1970 by somebody. I won't go into that story, but we didn't have that before. And all the elliptical and treadmills started to become more abundant in the 70s. Before that, people did yoga and breath work and activities of daily living and running and stretching. And then we got so into all these, like everyone's into like weights and you got to do cardio 5 days a week for 30 minutes. And then popped up chiropractors and physical therapy because you're overdoing, it's overuse syndrome, or people are doing things incorrectly. And so as we move forward into the future, and for my current is biohacking. So I go in, I have a sauna. So I go into my personal sauna a couple of times a week and I sweat my brains out. And then I do a Pilates, and I do one Pilates on equipment and one on the floor. And sometimes I do a yoga. And other than that, I just do a little bit of like my own thing, like just move, twist, turn, move, stretch. I use the vibration plate almost every day. That's all we need to do to maintain, to move forward. And I don't think it's just 50 something or 60 something years old that does that. And I don't think we didn't have any of this technology when we were kids and our parents were the adults, but they also have GMOs. So they didn't have chemtrails, they didn't have 5G, they didn't have all this other stuff. But they also, my mom went to like a calisthenics class like once or twice a week, and that was it. So we are an overdoer society, and now I'm giving you permission to do less and treatment more. And
So no, there's
actually
a
balance.
supplement to
Yeah.
like boost your metabolism, like a supplement to help boost your metabolism, get you going.
Yes. I mean, I would still want to look at that like more customized for you, knowing that we've worked together, and go back and look at your hormone test. But let's see, supplements to boost your metabolism. There's something called green coffee, and it's actually in this product called Lean Advantage. That's kind of a metabolism booster, and it also curbs your appetite a little bit. I find personally that when I take the right dosage of CBD, my appetite is just curbed. So it's, are you overeating? Are you eating too much at one time? Are you not digesting it? Are you not assimilating it? It's, so going back to earlier tonight, it's, are you pooping enough? Are you burping, gassy, smelly, or is all of that smooth? Because that's where I would start before I would start putting in more stuff. Because if your gut is sluggish, putting more stuff in, it may just sit there. I would actually recommend the opposite, which would be fasting. Fasting or fasting mimicking, if you haven't heard about them, are so incredibly popular these days. And they, everything I said before about you have to eat after you exercise is absolutely true, except when you're fasting. It's like all these things that everyone says on Instagram. They're like, eat meat, eat vegetarian, don't do this, don't do that. It's always contradicts, but I always talk about your today body. these are quotation marks, your today body. So my today body was going through some repair recently, and some fasting was really helpful, but my body needed calories and nutrients and fuel during the day. So I did more like a fasting mimicking, which for women is 500 calories a day and men is 700. And if you do that 3 days in a row, once a month, you'll build more stem cells and you'll have more repair to your body.
Okay.
The intermittent fasting that most people talk about is like 12 to 16 hours. And they do say like by the time you hit that 14th hour, it's like a whole nother level of healing that happens. But if you can finish eating at like 5 or 6 p.m. and not eat again the next morning till, let's say you finish at 6 and you don't eat the next morning till like 10, you just did 14 hours and you slept through most of it. So it's easy. So we try to do that as well. I don't always recommend that for beginners, but you're not a beginner. We've been working on yourself for a couple of years, at least as far as I've known you. And Barry, you're maybe a little bit more of a newbie. And some of the people listening to this call, if you're just trying to figure out, how to get healthier and you have blood sugar issues and you get headaches or constipation, like I might not recommend fasting, but you can certainly eat less more often as a starting point. That's the starting point I give people with food is it is that 5 to 6 small meals a day, because we have to get your blood sugar under control. It takes about 2 weeks to get your blood sugar under control. And then you don't have these cravings and these crashes. You don't like peak and crash all day. If you eat well for 2 weeks and you eat little bits throughout the day, you're going to be less hungry, which already starts your body to secrete there's a nutrient called carnitine. That's another one. I'll show you. This is actually the ultimate fat burner, in my opinion. I used to call it all day energy. Carnitine is a mobilizer. It's found mostly in animal products. So if you're eating more vegetarian these days, like most, you don't get enough of it. It sits in the cell membrane and it goes into the fat, and it takes fat and brings it into the cell to make energy. So taking that's like the best fat burner, but it's because it's doing something functional for your body. So I actually might like that for you more than the lean body, depending on if it's your appetite. I love this product. I've taken it for years. It's not as good as it used to be. Their quality is a teeny bit less, as things are when the company gets bought and sold, or when there's less clean available sometimes on the planet. But where was I going with that? When we get your blood sugar under control, you have less cravings, and then your body will take fat out of storage between meals. If your blood sugar is like this, in between eating, your body's just taking the sugar you just stored and using that. But if your blood sugar is more like this, like you eat a little bit and then you're neutral for a couple of hours, then your body will actually go and it will take fat out of storage and burn it to make energy. And I talked about this a little bit in our last class. I showed some of my slides, but I give a whole presentation on this where at the end, when you eat a lot of sugar, your body secretes a lot of insulin, and then you end up storing more quickly. And then, oh, I'm so disgusted, I'm not eating for hours. And so during that time, you mobilize some of that stored sugar for energy. But when you don't store as much, then your body's tapping into the old stores to make energy. And it's actually very efficient, because 1 unit of carbohydrate that you eat makes 36 units of energy, but 1 unit of stored fat makes 136. So we want to tap into those fat stores. That's really our goal. And then I could say also, if your cell membranes are warped and the shape isn't really circular, then the cell membrane is going to be hard to tap into to get the carnitine to come out. So that comes down into earthing and the frequent, having enough oil in your diet to have really good shaped cells, being on the earth often enough, which we don't do in the winter. So that brings us to soaking or to sitting on an earthing pad, or my favorite is to sleep on the earthing mattress cover and pillowcase, which is called the best technology one these days is called the anti-aging bed. I have a link for that on my website where you
Okay.
can buy it. They're actually, I was just looking earlier today, they're having a 15% off tax season sale.
Okay.
This is pretty cool. Let me show you. I have to unplug it. So I've been sleeping on an earthing mattress and an earthing sheet for 12 years, as has my son. And you won't be able to get the feel of it, but this is a newer company. They've been around actually that long, but they've done more technology. First of all, this is so soft, and the bed itself is like memory foam. And I was only going to buy a sheet when I went to buy it 12 years ago, but I sat on the bed and I was like, I felt like I was at the beach. It was like, I just felt peaceful and calm and amazing within 3 seconds of sitting on the bed. And I was like, I'll take the bed.
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
now this company has doubled up or quadrupled up the amount of silver that's in the material. And then the other end of it gets plugged in to a grounded outlet, and it comes with an outlet tester, and it comes with a tester where I don't have it handy for some reason. I don't see it. Oh, it's behind the desk. But when it comes with like let me just get it because I can't think of the words. A reader. Okay, it comes with this thing. And
Okay.
and they have this in video form on their website or on their YouTube. And some of my associates at their clinics, they'll have like a mattress out there, and they'll show you that when you clip this to this and you turn it on and you hold this, it may read like 160 or 70 or whatever the number is of EMFs. And then when you put your hand on the mattress, you drop down to 0. So while you're on this, sleeping on this, laying on this, you're getting 0 EMFs. You're getting all the earth energy as if you were at the beach. And
Wow.
when we're talking simple solutions, this is it, because you sleep on it. So you sleep on that. So and I don't even sit on my couch anymore ever since I've had this thing. I'm like, why would I sit on my couch when sitting on my bed is like healing me? So they just
Right.
came out with a throw blanket and a couple of other things and a whole nother thing that I'm not going to get into. They have a bunch of stuff, but they made it's pretty thick. They made a mattress cover. So if you're not in the market for a new mattress, you can put this whole thing on top of your mattress, and you could actually sleep on it naked right on this, or you could put a very thin sheet because you want the benefits of this.
Okay.
So when I separated from my son's father, I bought him the bed for his dad's house. And I was like, I need to make sure that you're healthy when you're over there. And so
Right.
the whole time you're sleeping, you're going to get healing earth energy. So, and it is pretty amazing. So there's so many great tools where you don't have to take a million pills every day. Like, we need to be on the earth desperately. We need light. I have so many healer friends, psychics and intuitive, and like none of them have, when I show them my laser, they're like, wow. And I'm like, I don't know how anyone lives on this planet without a little bit of light therapy. There's so much stress out there, and the light just like recharges you. How do you feel since you've used your laser?
Oh, I love it. I
It's
mean, when I was the sickness last time, which like makes me mad when I get sick. I don't know if you're like that, because I don't think I ever get sick, and then when I do, you know, so every night I was using the laser on my throat, on my sinuses, and I mean, I don't think it lasted that long, yeah. So,
So I don't get sick either, but we detox. So I've had healing crisis a couple of moments, I did
mhm,
get COVID schmovid at one point, but we call it the ascension flu. It's like you're healing and growing, and coming into your spiritual enlightenment, and you need a timeout. So sometimes the body's just like, shut down, you're overdoing, it's winter, chill out. And I look at illness more that way. When you're healthier and
Mhm.
you suddenly don't feel good, it's like, maybe you're having like a huge healing right now and your body is like telling you, slow down, you're overdoing it.
Right.
Plus you also don't eat that much when you're sick. So maybe your body was like, let me just like chill you out for a minute.
You're
So,
right. That's what I felt too. Same.
and the
Yeah.
laser will always help, but you have to go back to the same system that I teach over and over and over and over again every single day. It is number one, make sure you have a biofield, your field around you. So the laser and the sticker on your phone will assure that you have a biofield, but you could have gotten scanned. You could have been you work at a school, you could have been at a school that just got 5 new 5G things, you didn't even realize it, and you were in a vulnerable moment and you got zapped and your biofield was off. So when you
Right.
go home, that's why using your phone regularly, at least once a day, you turn yourself back on, right? Just like you charge your phone or your computer. You have your
Okay.
laser, you can turn yourself on with that too. Just a couple of breaths, you can wave it over yourself a little bit. Then the second thing is your detox system, AKA assembly line, and then your interference fields, also known as your scars and traumas. So when you feel sick, I'm going to bring it back to the very first conversation we had today. One of your detox organs or more are probably overloaded. And sometimes, how many times does a car, you get an oil change repeatedly, and every time the car runs neutral again, right? Back to normal. But in your body's, especially with this energy on the planet and this whole ascension thing, your body is trying to heal always. And so if you have an old shoulder thing and maybe there was an emotional thing connected to it, and now you're releasing that emotional thing, well, that shoulder is going to release all the stress, toxicity, energy, whatever, scar tissue out of the shoulder. And you're going to go, oh, my shoulder feels better, but now it's all in your liver. So you have to tend to that assembly line on a regular basis, whether it's laser, tapping, swiping, castor oil, or nutrients. But when we don't feel good, you said you were doing your throat and sinuses, but I would always be alternating liver, sinus, kidney, sinus, intestine. Like you have to do both. It's a seesaw. It's detox organs, chief complaints, or scar areas or trauma spots, because these are going to dump back into this. But it always, always, always comes down to the detox organs. And at the very beginning, when we were talking about the health club and how often I see people when I work with them one-on-one, if I see someone for a session in January and then I don't see them again until like March or April or May, because they're like doing all this stuff, every time they come in, half of their detox system is off. Because
Okay.
so then we're working on that again. Whereas when you're constantly tending to your assembly line, AKA detox system, we can go deeper and we can go, let's work on that scar. Let's work on this. Let's work on the thyroid. Let's work on firming your skin, like whatever we need to do. But we're always checking the detox organs to make sure they are working optimally. So
Okay.
that's why I like to see people. That's why I do the Elite Health Club, and I like to see people more regularly, because I feel like we get over more hurdles.
Yeah.
Will that come once a year? Every time I see them, it's like they have 3 chief complaints, but I got to keep going back to their liver isn't strong enough yet. Something like that. That's just an example. So Barry, do you have any questions today?
Just because you mentioned it, I never really thought of it. How long do you do this?
About 5 to 6 breaths. Most people start to yawn or just get like they drop it, they just get tired or relaxed. That's also enough. The more you do some of these healing treatments, you start to see when you've had enough, because yawning is when the traffic jams are opening. So most people start to yawn, or they just suddenly just get like tired. So the 24-year-old, I think she's 24, that I worked with the other day, related to the other person on the call. We did a remote session one-on-one, and she has the Q disc on her phone. So I had her do that. We did tapping and swiping, yawn, yawn, yawn. Like they were half there, and then a little more tapping. Then a few more yawns came, and then you could just see she looks like tired, but really like just grounded and calm and clear and out of this like monkey brain and stress. So it becomes a muscle memory. The more times you do that, if you're in the middle of a stressful thing at work, you could just take a deep breath and drop into that calm space and go, okay. And you think clearly. We think more clearly when we're in that space. We heal when we're in that space, and we sleep better when we're in that space. So we're always after the calm, and type A people will call it fatigue until they start to realize we're just like taking them down a notch to like be in the zone and have more clarity. So yeah, so I would say before food, first thing in the morning, maybe you're on a computer all day, it's maybe before lunch and before dinner, just to make sure. It's only the more you do it, the faster you get there. If you haven't done it in a day or two, 5, 6, 7 breaths, maybe till you go, oh, I start to feel those tingles, or I start to just breathe out or yawn. But if you've done it more regularly, you can get there in 2 or 3 breaths.
Thanks.
Okay.
Um,
How many CBD? I had the 15 milligram CBD extra strength formula.
yeah.
How many of them can I take? I take one sometimes at night to relax.
I feel that you need 4 a day.
Okay. And that's
So-
at one time at night?
No, I would spread them out. Why don't you try 2 this evening, and then
Okay.
maybe 1 morning or mid-morning. Get your day going a little first, because we don't want to make you, not that it will make you sleep. It won't make you sleepy, but some people feel that when it first kicks in. See, he's yawning now after doing the little bit of stuff.
Not to yawn.
And then I'm yawning because yawning's contagious because it's energy.
Yeah.
Here's the
too, I
thing about CBD. The half-life of CBD, which means how long does it stay in your bloodstream, is 48 hours. So if you take 4 tomorrow, which
Mhm.
is Thursday, chances are 2 or 3 on Friday will give you the same effect. And then maybe you only need 2 or 3 of those, like 30 or 45 milligrams instead of 60, because it's now staying in your bloodstream. Your blood levels are staying elevated. It's when
Okay.
you don't take it and then you just take 1. Sometimes a lot of people just take 1. I'll put someone on 3 capsules of nucleotide or nucleo, and they come back in and they're like, oh, I was just taking 1. Like, it is very different from 1 when you need that extra one. Yesterday, somebody I had her on 3 olive leaf like 2 months ago. And when she arrived yesterday, 3 did nothing for her, but 4 turned every part of her body on. So the difference of 1 capsule or 1 bite of nutrition is actually quite profound. So
Mhm.
yeah, so for you, 60 milligrams, and then maybe 30 to 45 some of the other days, as long as you're consistent with it. And the more you're consistent with that, I believe you're going to eat less and start to lose weight, because it's also on our cell wall. We have receptor sites for CBD, and if they are empty, then we're missing I think it's a vitamin. It's a nutrient that we are supposed to have,
Okay.
topically or internally. Just I
Mhm.
think our body needs it. Somebody today said to me that whenever she's even near CBD, she gets so sleepy that she's like, I'm not good with CBD. I get so sleepy. And maybe it's calm. She's a business owner. She's about to open a second and a third business. Is she actually sleepy, or does it just like put her into Zen, and to her that's sleepy? So I don't know. We're all different. No one has the exact same makeup as another person in who they are. So everybody has to figure it out for themselves. But I do believe that, I know we have receptor sites for CBD on our cell walls. And I do believe that everyone can benefit from some or something similar, hemp instead of CBD, maybe hemp seeds.
Mhm.
Yeah, so try that. And the reason I would say 2 at night is because if it makes you feel funny, you'll be asleep. So what? Right?
Right.
I don't normally suggest anything after dark unless I know it helps enhance sleep. Because I have a client that used to say, "Oh, I have a stomach of steel," and she would just like pop all her vitamins at dinner. And I would say, I feel like you should take them earlier in the day, like when you're more active. And she took some earlier in the day, but she would just take supplements. Well, now she has like major gut issues. So she doesn't have the stomach of steel anymore. And we have her on anti-inflammatory stuff. This is one of my favorite products. This is a anti-inflammatory shake. Have you had this, Diane?
No, but I was gonna order it the last time, so maybe I'll put the order in for it tomorrow.
This is one of my favorite things. Even just, I have sometimes just a scoop in a little bit of water and drink it like a snack. A scoop is about 85 calories, and that has like 25 anti-inflammatories in it. It's got so many nutrients in it, and it cleans everything out from mouth to butt. It's just, so when I travel, I often take that as my breakfast every day because I always have water, and I don't really want to go hunting for food first thing in the morning. I just want to like take my time or fast a little and then I could just add water and drink it.
Right.
But it's also, I have about 15 people that have been on this regularly for the last few years, and they swear by their hands and their knuckles and just every single aspect of their body, they feel better.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So it's really about having tools. You have your everyday supplements that your today body needs. And then you have your tools and you use them as you like. And then you have your sometimes supplements, and then you have your emergency medicine supplements, right? Like I was saying at the beginning, you might not take a lot of people take olive leaf every day, and I tell them, never let me take you off of this. It cures herpes, it cures all kinds of, like, some people just have random things that in their body that whenever I take them off olive leaf, stuff comes up. So I have them stay on olive leaf forever until we heal other things that might have been the cause of their problems. So Ultra Inflamex I've been using it for 25 years. I love this product.
Wow.
They've changed it from rice to pea, so it's pea protein. So you're getting a little protein, you're getting a ton of anti-inflammatories. It tastes pretty good. There's a client whose 18-year-old son had surgery on one of his knees a couple of years ago, and he had some stuff going on in his body. And then we were working on healing it, but he was a teenager and stubborn and didn't want to do stuff, or it just felt like it wasn't working or it wasn't fast enough. And then sadly got a COVID shot, a couple of them, and a flu shot. And then just earlier this week, I was told that his other knee has issues and the patella broke. The patella itself chipped and a piece. So they have to go in and surgically attach the patella. And so she said, help, what am I going to do to heal this child ASAP? And so it was Ultra Inflamex, it's Vitalzyme, and those are both anti-inflammatories, and they vacuum cleaner out scar tissue, and then a bunch of other nutrients. And, that's one thing that I see for children that are fully vaccinated. Children that break bones are usually fully vaccinated versus that have not. And again, it just comes down to, did we detox their organs? Did we get their assembly line working well? Forget about vaccine as a topic. It's how much chemicals and stuff and toxicity can go into one body until they have problems. Like, we need to heal the assembly line. We need to keep the liver, the gallbladder, the intestines moving everything through, because if there's a lot of junk in there, one or more organs are going to get stuck and tired. So it really comes down to clearing out all these organs on a regular basis. And we as adults do it, but it's more work and more challenging to do children. And eventually, I think this client was hoping that when her son got a little older, he might finally come around and be interested. but unfortunately he has another teenage issue that hopefully will help him get interested in taking better care of himself.
Right. Yeah.
We're behind the 8 ball on every angle about everything about health these days. So thankfully we have all the stuff we do have to heal us. You know, the nutrients are one thing. I'm sitting in front of one of our bookshelves. We have 3 more shelves and then a couple of small ones that look like this. And almost everything behind me, there's vitamin C and there's digestive enzymes, but almost everything else most people have never heard of. They're functional nutrients. I mean, you might have heard of resveratrol, but most people are not thinking, oh, let me go take resveratrol. We have Nucleo. We do have a multivitamin, but like a lot of products that heal our body are not the things we think of eating or taking. So therapeutically, we use them to treat all the organs, the glands, the scars, the trauma spots. And then hopefully your superfoods, your regular vitamins and minerals that you eat nourish your body that much more that your body just keeps kicking out all the toxins.
Right.
Yeah, so it's already 6:10. I'm gonna let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your night. You're both on the East Coast. Thank you for coming. Sorry it was a rough, rocky, slow start for everybody. And for those of you that are watching after the fact, I'm so sorry if you were trying to get in and didn't make it. We will definitely fix that before the next Limitless Health Club meeting. And your code, there's a code, you should be able to log in. What is the code? Always sunny, almost sunny?
Sunny day 15. Is that
Sunny
it?
day 15 is it's when you log in, I was going to show you, but since my computer isn't doing it either, but when you go to juliehealth.com, on the upper right-hand corner is your login. If it's your first time, you have to make a password and use your email address. And then when you log in, you should be able to see the link to this and your code where you get discounts every month. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a bunch of these pre-recorded classes that you can listen and watch. And they're, you know, nutrition's always changing, but the information about healing the body is still the same. We're just always learning new additional things to do. So my take home today is, you know, sleep earth and sleep on the anti-aging mattress. This you can find under Julie's favorites, which is right next to the shopping tab. And make sure you have clean water. If you don't drink good filtered water, then get a water filter system also. I love the picture. It's all the way on the bottom from when you see the sauna, they also have a pitcher, like a water pitcher that structures your water, filters out GMOs and everything else, and the water tastes great. So you can just do a pitcher in your kitchen sink, or you can do something on the whole house. I have the pipe. You'll see that. I think it's the 3rd one down in the favorites. I just added a pipe to the outside of my house, and it has shungite rocks and all these other filters in it. So my laundry, my dishwasher, my shower are also getting clean water. And then I use the pitcher at the sink.
Okay.
You can also get there's a 3rd one in my favorites. There's like, it either makes hydrogen water or alkaline water. And I would love to get one of those soon, because the alkaline water cleans and kills all the crap off your produce. So, you know, we need to do that now too, because now they're adding stuff at the store, unfortunately. So anyway, I would do that. Something at the sink, something for the whole house. If you're living in a house that you're going to stay in for more than 6 months, I would do something to the whole house. I like the pipe because the way they set it up is that you could take that pipe and put the old one back in when you leave. So I could take that pipe with me to my next residence and have the same filtration system. So we need earth, water, our basics, you know, and our healing tools. So get your light for Restore, the chain, and you guys have a healthy night. And then Diane, we'll look forward to either talking to you or hearing from you for tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks so much.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.